Robinhood may have just solved crypto's biggest problem. And no, I'm not talking about speed. I'm not talking about those transaction fees. I'm not talking about scalability. Crypto has already proven it can move money fast. We've got chains that settle in seconds. We got cheap transactions. We got smart contracts. The biggest problem has always been people, adoption, getting more people to actually use this stuff. Because let's be honest, most people do not want to learn crypto. They don't want to learn about seed phrases. They don't want to learn about bridges. They don't want to learn about RPCs or arbitrage or any of that stuff. They don't want to learn gas fees. Most people just want to push a button and have it work. That's it. Now, people like me still believe in self-custody. I still believe not your keys, not your crypto. I still believe private keys matter because when you trust somebody else with your money, you're taking a risk. That hasn't changed. But we also have to be honest. Some people are never going to want that responsibility. Some people don't want to secure seed phrase. Some people don't want to learn wallets. Some people simply want convenience, and if crypto is ever going to reach billions of people, those people have to be included too. That's where Robinhood comes in. Robinhood is trying to remove almost every barrier standing between regular people and crypto. No bridges, no complicated wallet setup, no technical knowledge required. You just open the app and use it. And honestly, that's how most technologies win. Most people use the internet. Most people using the internet couldn't explain how the internet works. Most people using smartphones couldn't explain how a smartphone works. People adopt convenience. The technology disappears into the background. And I think that's exactly where crypto is headed. Robinhood already has roughly 28 million users. Now think about that. Crypto projects spend millions trying to attract users. Robinhood already has them. That's an unbelievable advantage because whoever controls onboarding controls a huge piece of the future. And Robinhood, they may have just built the easiest on-ramp crypto has ever seen. Everybody is watching Robinhood. I'm watching Arbitrum because Robinhood didn't build this chain from scratch. They built it on Arbitrum. And that could end up being one of the biggest stories in crypto over the next few years. See, when people come into crypto, they usually stay inside whatever ecosystem introduced them. That's where they feel comfortable. That's just human nature. If your first blockchain experience happens through Robinhood, chances are you're going to come familiar with the infrastructure underneath it. And in this case, that's Arbitrum. Now let's think about the numbers. Robinhood has roughly 28 million users. Let's say only 1% of them interact with the Robinhood chain. That's already 280,000 users from 1%. 1%. And honestly, that number could end up being much, much higher because eventually most people won't even know they're using the blockchain. They won't even care, and they shouldn't have to. Nobody asks what protocol powers their banking app. This isn't a meme coin chain. Robinhood isn't bringing Pepe on chain. They bring in stock tokens, ETFs, real world assets, traditional financial products, actual assets that people already understand. And that's huge because most people aren't trying to leave the financial system. Most people simply want a better financial system. Now, here's the part I think people are completely sleeping on. Robinhood isn't becoming a crypto company. Robinhood is becoming a financial operating system. Think about everything they build. Stocks, crypto, tokenized stocks, stablecoin, yield product, self-custody wallets, blockchain infrastructure. You got all the AI, you DeFi, all of that is going on. That's not a brokerage anymore. That's an ecosystem. And ecosystems are powerful. Robinhood recently launched Robinhood Earn, allowing users to asset yield through DeFi infrastructure without ever needing to learn DeFi. Open the app, earn yield, invest, done. No complexity, no headaches. Mass adoption was never going to look like everybody becoming a blockchain expert. Mass adoption was always going to look simple, easy, invisible, but the biggest sleeper may actually be AI. Robinhood is building AI tools that can build watch lists, monitor positions, look for tax opportunity, and eventually execute transactions based on rules users set. Think about that. The future of finance may not be humans clicking buttons all day. The future may be humans setting the rules while AI does the work. Machines don't sleep. Machines don't care if markets close. Machines operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 24/7. That's exactly what blockchain was built for. Always on finance. So when I step back and look at everything Robinhood is built, I don't see a brokerage. I see a company trying to become the place where regular people interact with the entire financial system. And whether you love Robinhood or hate Robinhood, one thing is becoming very clear. Robinhood isn't experiment with crypto anymore. Robinhood is going all in.